Today, Fun with Flowers and Jay is brought to you by Brandon Street Wholesale Florist.
Welcome to the world of flowers. I'm Jay Schwanke. I've spent my entire life surrounded by flowers. As a fourth-generation florist, flowers have been a part of my daily life for as long as I can remember. Now I'm on a mission to share my knowledge and love of flowers with everyone I meet. Growing, picking, arranging, designing, and sharing. It's all fascinating to me because I love flowers. Anything flowers and everything flowers. Welcome to Fun with Flowers and Jay. Today on Fun with Flowers and Jay, we'll be creating a composite orchid that we can use as a wedding bouquet out of cymbidium orchid blossoms. So let's get started with today's project. We'll be creating a composite orchid made out of cymbidium orchids. We'll be using these beautiful pink orchids from Gallup and Stribling. I love cymbidium orchids because they're so durable and easy to work with. The other thing that we'll be using today is cold adhesive. We always use cold adhesive when we're gluing flowers. We never use hot glue. And the first thing we'll do is create our apparatus. So what we're using the back of a ribbon bolt. So what I did was I took the ribbon bolt off of the ribbon, took an awl, and I punched 2 holes in it. Then I go ahead and thread a pipe cleaner through those holes. Pull it down tight, and that starts to form a handle for us. So you'll notice I did it 3 times all the way around, so I've got a nice good support. Our next step is to take apart our orchids. You're going to want to look for a perfect orchid too, because we're going to use that as the center. I can show you a couple of alternative ways to create a center, but I like dropping one single orchid into the center of the composite orchid. That one's really pretty, so we'll set him off to the side. The rest of them we can remove. Make sure that your orchids are all hydrated. So you've had them in water, cut them, make sure that they've arrived, everything is good. Then we're simply going to remove the petals by pulling them off the side. Then it leaves us our throat. So we'll pull those petals off. We'll lay our apparatus on top of a vase, and then I'll apply the cold glue. Because the cold glue is a lot like rubber cement, as it gets dry, it becomes more sticky. And we're going to apply the glue to both surfaces, both the cardboard back and the petals themselves. You'll notice that I sorted them into 2 different varieties. I've got the lighter ones on one side that are skinnier and the fatter, darker petals together on the other side. So we'll start with the fatter ones and work our way towards the center so that we have a nice graduation of color that starts to occur. So when we apply glue to the back of them, we put a nice amount of glue on the petals themselves. Now you'll notice this one, I did it all the way up the petal. On these, I did it just at the bottom. I like to do it just at the bottom because it's easier to adhere it, and then those petals can stick over the side. As the glue starts to dry, then we can place them into place. Now, if I used this one, notice how that would be on the back side and I'd have glue that would be exposed. Letting these dry just a little bit before we apply them and overlapping them slightly allows us to create our beautiful composite flower. And we're going to create concentric circles all the way around. So this will go quickly. Let's put it together. We've created the concentric circles all the way around the outside. And layering them over the top of each other, graduating from bigger ones to smaller ones, makes this look very uniform. Now, we can finish the back. We want to cover this up and do something that's attractive. So I've got this beautiful calathea foliage. This is from alpha fern, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love how it has a little bit of a purple back to it. We're going to apply the glue on the back side, and then place our calathea foliage over the top. Now what we can do is we can use a whole leaf or we can cut it down. So in this case, I can lay that leaf on there like that, and that's going to give a purple side. Or if we glue it this way, we'd have a natural green side. So you can decide which coloration you want. I'm going to use those purple sides towards the front. What I'll do is I'll just trim the leaves off flush. And I'm selecting a few of the smaller sized leaves to do that with. Then I'm going to run a bead of glue right down the vein on the back of the leaf, and we'll run it across the bottom. Then I can place these leaves onto the back. Now, the back is beautiful, and we've got that wonderful pink cast towards the front. So now it's time for us to put the center into the bouquet. I told you there's a couple different things that we can do. If you wanted to wire these together, I've seen people do this, where they've taken all of the little stamens together to create a beautiful little center. You could wire those together and drop them into the center and give it a nice little clustered type center. In this case, we're just going to use a single orchid and drop it right down into the center. It gives it a smaller, more diminutive type of a center. We'll apply glue all the way around and then apply glue to the back of our orchid. One of the great things about the cymbidium orchids is that they have such great water retention. So they're going to last really well. We're going to use a little bit of ribbon. I loved this pink burlap. This is available from Reliant. And I just want a little accent on the back side. So we're going to make a looped bow. And add some streamers. We'll tie that off. With a covered wire. And then I'm going to attach a covered wire to my leaves. And I'm simply just going to bend it down in a hairpin and then tape it on to give support to my leaf and allow me to make it a little bit more flexible. So we're taking our covered wire, bending it in half, and laying it right next to the stem itself, and then taping it off. That's just about as close to wiring and taping that I get anymore. I'll add my dovetail ends. And of course, our orchid blossom head is going to go towards the bottom. We'll add our ribbon. I'm going to reverse my calathea leaves so that they continue with that great purple tone. And then all of those pieces, including our chenille stems or pipe cleaners, have been gathered together in the back. So then we'll tape those off. This is probably the trickiest part of the whole bouquet. Just making sure that we tape that securely and create a beautiful handle. Our final step is to spray it with Chrysler Professional Glory. That's the secret that's going to make sure that everything remains fresh and beautiful for the entire wedding. It's a beautiful way for us to create a composite orchid, coming from a stem like this to a beautiful bouquet like this. And the secret is cold adhesive. Until next time, keep having fun with flowers.